Welcome back to Kirkpatrick and Company, where we sit down with the people shaping our communities and local industries. Today I'm joined by Dr. Mechelle Roberthon, CEO of MKR Development, a leader known for her practical, no-nonsense approach to HR, operations, and building strong organizations. We're diving into her journey, her leadership philosophy, and the lessons she's learned along the way. I'm Rob Kirkpatrick, and this is Kirkpatrick and Company, presented exclusively by Catalyst Bank. I am so excited to have Dr. Mechelle Roberthon. I have to include the doctor. You know, you don't run around with a doctor, but
No,
I have you actually not just as one doctor, but Doctor in
you
my
do.
phone.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was the ghost of Steve Jobs. It happened by accident in my phone, and I've kept it.
Okay.
So welcome.
And you answer the phone by saying doctor.
Hi, Doctor.
Thank you.
And my kids call you Doctor.
I love it.
They don't even, I'm not even positive they're sure of your name.
Yeah.
But they know Doctor.
That
That's all
will
that's
do.
important.
Thank you.
So the Doctor is in. It's
Yeah.
Mechelle Roberthon. She's from MKR Development, and I'm so excited you're in the vault.
Me too. I love
feels,
space.
It feels good, huh?
It does feel great. It's well lit from the outside.
Yeah.
So when you're walking by, it's mysterious.
Oh, I'll tell you, I work right here sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I do some training and focus at the camera right here. I might have some other people on the other side. And people walk by, and I never knew what it felt like to be a zoo animal
Absolutely.
until this, where people will talk about you.
Yeah.
And then I get distracted because I think, like, I wonder if the gorillas, like, know that people
Wow.
are talking about them
Wow.
while they're right there.
You went really far on that one.
Went there.
It's the fish.
Giraffes.
Well,
It is.
the-
It is.
The giraffes too.
So, what's MKR Development? What do you do?
I love that. You know, more than too many people ask me that question. Who should know what I do? But
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
maybe you don't. But for the listeners, MKR Development is an organizational development firm. Now, I often tell people that sounds real fancy, but here's what it is: people operations all day, every day. So someone's going to reach out to me and ask me a myriad of things. Can I help them review a policy, look at a handbook, conduct an employee investigation? They need an external third party. More often than not, it is, can you train my staff? Can you work with this leader or this HR professional one-on-one? So if it is the people side of your business, anything about how you acquire talent, retain talent, engage talent, MKR is the premier partner.
Ooh, Premier.
You like that?
She's got a sign too.
Premier.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I'm super proud of you because
Yeah.
I have been able to see the evolution from you starting your business
Mhm.
as you name,
Mhm.
and then eventually it had to split because there were some people who did just want Dr. Mechelle Roberthon at their events,
Yep.
and then there are people who need the services of MKR Development.
That's correct.
I'm not going to try to write your tagline, but I always think it's like making HR, I won't say like making it sexy because that might be some HR issues in itself,
Appropriate.
but
Yeah.
but exciting.
Oh, I love that.
Because, you know, it seems like such a boring topic, and a lot of companies, they're just like, we got HR over here.
Correct.
They blame things on HR.
all the
They let HR take the fall.
all the
And you're so empowering to HR professionals. And we've gotten to work on a podcast about this stuff together.
Yep.
And so I'm always just really excited because I see the energy you bring. I mean, you love a handbook,
I
like
do.
some people like a romance novel, you know?
That's so good.
And that's one of the things you do is
Yeah.
go in and say, like, this is trash. Like, this handbook that
I-
you have
Yes.
is creating more questions than answers.
Yes.
So tell me, like, what is your favorite thing? I mean, it had to come from somewhere.
It did. And I never thought, Rob, I don't know that I ever told you this. I never thought it would be this true blue HR work that I do today.
Really?
I ran from that because I thought the same thing you thought. This is boring. People blame them about everything. And the HR professionals I saw at the time, they were not overly exciting people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were, I think HR has this reputation of paper pushers.
Yeah.
They are the, so I'm going to take you back. They are the stockings wearing, pencil skirt,
Cardigans.
cardigans, lipstick on teeth, processed paperwork. And that's just not true. HR professionals are some of the most dynamic people. Those who have the energy, the understanding that they have to work with a diverse group of people, diverse in tenure, diverse in work experience. Some
Mhm.
people are having their first job experience under an HR director or a full-fledged HR team. But good HR professionals, they know that. So the field is so exciting because people are exciting.
Yeah.
People are your business. And so for me, where it started was training and development or talent development. This industry has a lot of names.
Yes.
So this is a niche within HR. All right. So we're going to just kind of pop this niche out. Some people call it talent development, learning and development, training and development, but that's the bug that bit me all those years ago. And I was 10 toes down and am still 10 toes down in that industry. But now I want to broaden it and say, well, let me learn the whole pie and not just this one slice.
Yeah.
And it's been so great, not only dabbling, but like doing things to help real businesses in the pie and not just that slice.
You know, I think it's so fascinating because really what the theme of season 1 of Kirkpatrick and Company is going to be is investment.
I like
And we talked to Anita Begno first this season to talk
Love
about
it.
investing in the community.
Yep.
DJ Digital,
Yeah.
still investing in a community and investing in itself here.
Love it.
You really represent both investing in yourself
Yep.
and also investing in your people.
Yes.
You know, HR is your front line.
Yes.
They are the ones who are going to find your next all-star seller or your next all-star VP or number 2 behind you.
Yeah.
And that's really where you work. So
Yeah.
can we say we got the HR boring stuff out the way now?
Check.
Because this is Kirkpatrick and Company. So you wouldn't be sitting here if I wasn't super impressed with what you do
Thank you.
day to day.
Yep.
I think you represent just such an excelled, I guess, position in what you do in your
Yeah.
career, but to also put up some, not to use the millennial word,
Okay.
boundaries,
I
you
love
know,
boundaries.
to make sure that you still live your life. And a lot of what you do, it's really cool because you're lucky enough for them to intermix. So
Yes.
what gets you up every morning?
Ooh, well, I'm probably hungry.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm thinking, man, I need to eat something. But I love the opportunity to be creative. And that's not a word I would use to describe me.
Hmm.
When you think of creative in the traditional sense, I'm not your painter, if you will. I'm not creating an outfit from scratch. I love those folks. I will buy from them, but
Yes.
I'm not the creator. But I am. I create frameworks. I kid you not, I'll wake up with a thought about a client and I'll say, oh my goodness, there's a framework swirling around in my head that if I can create a visual for this or break it down in a very practical way, this would really help him. This will
Mhm.
really help him in our one-on-one consulting conversations. And so I'll get to creating. Sometimes I'm 6 hours in and I haven't checked my email once. And normally my heart is beating through my chest and I'm like, great, you suck as CEO. This is not great, but I've produced something so beautiful
Yeah.
that I absolutely love and that my client is going to benefit from. And then I'll realize, wait, so many other people can benefit from this. And wait, it should be a training. Ooh, I can make a social media post. And as cheesy as that sound, that gets me up every morning.
You know, I oftentimes say like my toxic trait is like experiencing something like really small,
Yep.
like a 3-second experience in my life and
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, this would make for a good session.
Yes.
You want me to try one out for you? This is fresh,
Okay.
hot off the
Hit
presses.
me.
So, you know, a couple weeks ago, we were over in Europe and we went to see the tulip fields outside of Amsterdam.
Correct.
The lowest item on my bucket list. I was prepared to sleep on the bus,
Okay.
have snacks, look at some flowers.
Okay.
Okay. And about halfway there, the tour guide said, like, let me break your heart, guys. Because, of course, these were flower lovers. I mean,
Okay.
these people are asking questions about cross-pollination,
Oh, yeah.
bees, equipment,
Very
farm,
into it.
everything. And he said, I'm going to break your heart, guys. All of these tulips that we're going to see today are bulldozed when the tourist season is over.
Whoa.
And we were seeing hundreds of acres of tulips at one time because you know what the product is?
What?
It's not the flower. It's the bulb in the ground.
Really?
That's what they sell.
Huh.
Flowers die in a week,
Sure.
but a bulb can be put in a bag, sent all over the world to be planted.
Oh, interesting.
And so I go to the first one. I have to reluctantly admit, this is actually pretty cool. I mean, also the colors are super vibrant, and I'm
Yeah.
colorblind, so you know things are usually a bit
Huh.
muted for
I
me.
know that.
And it was super bright.
Okay.
And then I think, oh my gosh, when I'm working with a client,
Mm.
what's your tulip and what's your bulb?
Oh, that's good.
Because the tulip is what everyone sees. You know, the tulip is whatever widget you're selling or everything else. To me, the bulb is like the experience that people have.
Oh, I love that.
Like, that's the thing.
Wait, I have a question. So
Yeah.
is the bulb only produced after the tulip exists?
It's there. It's what the tulip grows out of.
Okay.
And you can actually cut the bulb and you'll see the next 3 years of
Mm.
tulips locked and loaded in the chamber.
What?
I know it's a whole thing. You gotta go. You gotta go.
But I
But
do that too.
you see those things.
I'll take a minute experience To me, it could be a clip from a good TED Talk, a sermon,
Mm.
a one-liner somebody said in a conversation, a mic drop moment, and, we might do the, "Ooh, that's so good, let me clock
Clock
it."
it.
Gotta clock it.
12-year-old dad here, and I know about clocking
That's
it.
right, and I'm surprised I know it. Sometimes I get the fingers mixed up. I'm just clocking it.
I just say it. I don't do the signs.
Oh, you're not cool then.
Okay.
So, but I'll hear some sort of mic drop something, and I kid you not, I'm thinking, "Ooh, that's a post. That's a training." Oh, and then the resources are swirling around in my head, and before you know it, I'm probably working up until 3 a.m. And while that might sound unhealthy, I'm on fire. It's electric. I have to force myself sometimes to go to bed. I I know you're not sleepy, but you cannot function
Yeah.
without sleep.
Can't do 3 hours of sleep and function tomorrow.
Legitimately, that's excitement for me because that means that my creativity is just going, and I love it.
I want to ask, in these trainings that you do, and I should also say, just to remind our listeners, we're talking to Dr. Mechelle Roberthon. She's from MKR Development, one of my favorite OC-based businesses, oil center, here in Acadiana, but with clients all over the place, with experience working with customers all over the place in
Yep.
companies. Like, what is a simple thing, if I can just like jog like the very shallowest part of your brain, that most companies should be doing,
Hmm.
especially in the space you work at, and they're just not doing it? Maybe it's something that takes 20 minutes. What should people be doing right now?
Orienting their new people,
Mm,
onboarding them,
yeah.
2 separate functions.
Wait. Trial by fire is not what you think people should be doing?
Absolutely not. But when they do, they call me, and
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's a mess when I get in there. So every company should at least orient their new person to the office, the building, the space, their job description, the team they're going to work with. Now, that's just the orientation, but what does the onboarding look like? And I often tell clients, Rob, onboarding is a journey, orientation is an event. Another one-liner.
Another
You
one.
clocking it?
Oh, clock it.
Clock it.
Hold on. Clock it.
You're using too many fingers.
I don't know how many figures to use. We're clocking something.
Clocking it.
What does it even mean? I don't even care.
Me either. But we're clocking it.
But we know.
So not a lot of companies focus on onboarding. There's usually no journey. Most companies are thinking, "Hi Rob, welcome to MKR Development. We're so excited you're here. Here is a mug and a coaster and a keychain." So they got the gift. Check. Let me give you company history, vision. Let me tell you how the CEO started when he was 10 and he still works here. And you're supposed to tear up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
so sweet. And then after orientation, they assume your immediate supervisor is locked and loaded and ready to roll. The supervisor is just going to put you with somebody. Hey, shadow John for a week.
Ooh, I hate a shadow.
Me too.
I hate a shadow.
Don't throw me into a shadow immediately.
And it's someone I really don't know because it's my first day. And now it's like, go spend 8 hours with this person.
Correct.
Who, by the way, still has to do the job usually.
Correct.
So you're kind of in the way for them.
Right. And we don't know what the conversation was to John about you shadowing because to your point, John still has a job to do.
Yeah.
And a new hire is going to slow John's job down, but also the natural productivity of the organization as well. But there's no real intentionality to your point about, is a shadow the right thing to introduce at this stage? I don't mind a shadow at the right stage, but early on, just so that you don't have to deal with the new hire, that's not so great. The new hire needs a lot of TLC in the beginning. How long, Mechelle? Thank you for asking. 90 days at least.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you love a good 30, 60, 90 plan?
Do I?
Because I love it.
You know, is this a serious question?
It's a real one. Because, well, first of all, some people have never even heard it, but a real plan for what's going to happen in the first 3 months, you have someone working there. And conversely, I love bringing a 30, 60, 90 when I'm interviewing for a job.
Oh, I love that.
Like, these are the things I think I'm going to do. Here's what I want to do. And then it could be a little bit of a negotiation.
That's right. I hear some people, they're on the fence about when they're interviewing, do they leave the 30, 60, 90-day document with them? So what would you say is a plus to leaving it and a con?
Well, I think the plus is there is a desk full of resumes.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have something besides just a resume that makes you stand out. And also your name stays there. Your name should be big. It should be bold.
Yep.
So I think that's a pro.
Okay.
A con,
You like how I asked you a question on your podcast?
that's okay. Roberthon and Company coming soon. I don't know. I can't think of a con. What's a con?
So the feedback I often hear is if you don't get the job, now they have 90 days worth of your ideas
Oh,
to implement.
well, then don't give that good of a 30, 60, 90. Ease it along.
Yeah, so maybe you don't need to say all the things, but give them a little taste of how you think,
Yeah.
how you might approach the work. But I would leave it.
Yeah.
And this is why I share my slides after every presentation. I know some trainers who I will never share my slide deck. I will share the slide deck. I will share the handouts.
Mhm.
I don't have a fear that some other trainer is going to pick it up and train it. I am going to do it differently. I tell everybody I coach about training, you are the presentation.
Yeah.
The slides are never the presentation.
And the connective tissue is what everyone remembers anyway. And so the slides are just going to help them remember your story.
That's right. The slides are a visual aid. They're not the presentation. So don't turn your back to the audience. Don't talk to the screen. Don't read, pray tell, verbatim from the slides.
Yeah.
My goodness, I had to lean into the mic on that one.
Mhm.
So yes, I'll leave it because I don't have a fear that someone's going to pick it up and deliver it the way that I've trained and prayed and studied to deliver it.
I think that something people don't think about a lot is, especially in our part of the country, I feel like we talk about mentorship, but we don't do it well.
Yeah.
And I think some people have a feeling that if they even ask a mentor for help, you're sort of saying you don't know how to do it,
Or you're
showing your cards, or you're weak.
Yeah.
And, I'll go back to one of the earliest conversations you and I ever had. We did a 5-person event where we all trained on something different.
Yep.
And the next day, I'm talking, it was still warm in the room where we were. And you said, you're not a trainer
Mhm.
and you're not a facilitator.
Yep.
You're a storyteller.
Yep.
And in the moment, excuse me.
I know.
And then the more that I thought about it, and I thought, actually, you know what the best thing that I did to this group was? Sit on a bar stool
That's right.
and just tell war stories
That's
to make their issues that they're having seem like they're not the end of the world.
Yes.
You do this in a way because of your varied experience where you can sit down and say, I hear you're worried about this one little thing, but let me tell you of something I experienced that was 1,000 times this big.
Correct.
And that is a part of it.
Yes. And I remember that very fondly. And
Wait, is fondly the word? Do you
Yes.
remember it fondly?
I do. Because you received it very well.
Oh, I tried.
You received it in the moment very well and even post. And you thought, oh my goodness, it felt like a relief
Mm-hmm.
for someone to let you off the hook.
Yeah.
That you don't need to conform in this box full of trainers to have a slide deck and a clicker. Oh, and make sure you're on your timer and make sure you're hitting the slides at the right time. So for me, I thought, and please correct me on the record, I thought it was a reprieve
It
for
was.
to
It
say,
was.
hey, ditch the PowerPoint, sit on this stool and talk to them.
Yeah. And I think that was also when my mindset about the whole thing changed to I don't have to be everything to everyone.
Yes.
This is what I know,
Yep.
and this is what I can tell you. I want to talk about leadership
Okay.
because this goes hand in hand with HR, people, operations, and everything, mentoring. But
Yeah.
there are some people who are put in leadership roles or find themselves in leadership roles that are not actual leaders, and they can learn how, with the
Yes.
right guidance, they can learn. I guess the question that I wrote down was what advice would you give to leaders who are overwhelmed by managing people?
Oh.
And you work on it.
Yes, you can. And thank you for saying that. I cannot stand the mindset. Oh, I love that I said the mindset and not the person.
Yes, yes.
Progress.
It is, yes, yes,
Shout out to my therapist.
yes.
What's my camera?
Yes.
Okay. It can be taught. That's number one. It can be taught. If you are overwhelmed by leading people, there's so many threads we can pull. I'd first ask them, what part of leading people overwhelms you? What do you like? What don't you like? And I'd want them to be as nuanced as possible about what they see as leading people. I want to see if there's some distorted thinking. I want to see if there's some alignment to their job description. More often than not, Rob, they were promoted because they're really good at doing the job, not necessarily at leading the people side of the job. Because the higher up you go, the further away from the work you go. So if you're a good, I don't know if you've ever heard this quote, never take your best salesperson and make them the manager. Now, of course, I disagree with that. I mean, Sure, they could be the
There has to be some upward mobility sometimes to keep them.
It does.
Yeah.
But what the quote implies, because I don't know who to accredit that to, but it implies that if they're really good at selling, let them sell. But if you make them the manager, now they have to conduct meetings. Now they have to have one-on-one performance reviews. They also have to coach and develop you. I have to put your sales above my numbers. They shouldn't even have a book of business. Their business should be to develop the other salespeople. But if they still have to sell even a little, now I'm competing with the very team I'm supposed to lead. So it is important that we know, well, what part of leading people are you most pressed by? What's getting on your nerves? What's too heavy for you? And then is there an opportunity to develop that, train that? Is there a book, a video, a conversation that we can have, a template, a job aid, a resource, or something that we can put in your hands to equip you? They just need to be developed.
You know, I had actually never thought about that conflict. And obviously, in the media world that I work in,
Yeah.
yes, there are sales managers and there are directors of sales
Yep.
who often manage the biggest accounts
Yep.
because of their position. And I never really thought about it as them selling against
Yeah.
the people they're trying to empower.
Yep.
Wow. What about mistakes as you're going into these businesses? And obviously, the last, really 20 years of seeing how these things are, doing the research.
Yep.
What is one mistake you see happening over and over,
Oh.
almost like you could see it from 10 miles away?
Yeah.
That's what you need to change.
We just talked about it. Promoting without preparing.
Mm,
Man, we don't do this well as a collective. We are promoting because of tenure. They've been here so long. They're so loyal. I wish people could have been at the Louisiana HR conference that took place here in Lafayette, Louisiana last week. It was so awesome. It was so many great topics. One of the misnomers I discussed was this employee loyalty tenure thing. And we love to say, kids today, these young people today, this young generation, they don't stay on jobs long. I poked holes in all of those things with actual factuals.
hmm
So, fun fact, the average tenure of work in the United States is 4 to 5 years. Guess
Okay.
how long it's been that way?
Oh, probably forever.
4 decades.
Yeah.
But we tend to say the young people today don't stay long.
hmm
My mama doesn't either. What do you say?
Yeah.
That's not a widespread older thing. So then the next thing we talked about was 30% of people stayed at their jobs 10 years or more in whatever time period of old.
hmm
30%.
Ooh.
So 70% did
Did
not.
not.
And then the third and final thing we talked about was if they did stay 50 years, why? Geographical mobility for roles didn't exist like it does today.
hmm
I can go do this job I'm doing anywhere in the United States and world. I choose Lafayette, Louisiana, and had a really enticing offer to move to California. I dabbled in it. I was close on my third round of interviews, talking to the executive recruiter, the chief human resources officer, talking to my husband about, okay, California, we're really about to do it. I was thinking about where I could adjunct as a side hustle because California mortgage,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yes.
But Lafayette is where I choose. There was not that many choices back then to say, well, if I just don't like what I'm doing here, I'll drive over to Houston or Dallas. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Also, one income households. You couldn't just willy-nilly say, I don't like the way the boss is disrespecting my boundaries, so I'm just going to quit. Everybody in your house is relying on your income, your benefits. Your pension was tied to that job. Your health insurance is tied to that job. And talk about a reduction in opportunities. And there was not a lot of 401k competitors then. Not a lot of health insurance plans that you can get in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So when people stayed, they stayed out of necessity. But what do we call it?
Loyalty. You know what? I actually hadn't thought when you take out the things like pensions
Yep.
that were so much more common, when you take out those reasons to stay,
Yep.
and look, how many people do we know that that's what they strive to do, get the gold watch?
Yes.
Well, clearly they weren't giving away 100 gold watches a year.
Correct.
And so,
I love that you said watch. I
Yeah.
said to the group, I said, back in the day, what was the big pension gift? Watch.
a gold
Said,
watch.
or what else?
Yeah.
A pen.
hmm
I don't need this pen. I'm retiring.
Exactly.
I don't want to write ever again. But man, to get that gold watch, or I don't know, a month's supply of
Yeah.
steaks. Wow.
Look, and I've heard people tell you in my presence, XYZ, some kind of stat about workers. Well, in my day, it was this. And you are so close to saying it's not your day.
It's not your day,
It has changed.
and you have to change with it. I guess you don't, but you have to if you're going to work in this day. And not with let's not even not even Gen Z. It doesn't even matter. If you're going to be in the workforce today and you dig your heels in and you don't change, you can single-handedly become the person that holds that business back, that department back, that new hire back. You make work difficult. Why? Because it changed. I'm a millennial and it's already changed. I used to save things on 3.5 floppy A disk. That changed to a USB drive and then the cloud. I have never thought, "Oh, another thing?" I thought, "Okay, Dropbox.
You just move it all over.
Let's go. OneDrive. Okay, Google Drive." And yes, technology scares me. I don't say that out loud a lot, but I'm like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up." But show me the new technology. Learned a new tool just yesterday. Somebody mentioned it. I cannot make this up. Somebody mentioned it, let's say at 8:10 a.m. I was testing it at 8:15 and had already produced 3 things in this new AI. Yes, it scares me. And no, I didn't know what I was doing, but he sold it so good. I was like, well, and he said free. I was like, oh, let me give it a try.
Yeah.
So
And do it scared.
do it scared, but do it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to get left behind either. So that's a long way of saying really the lack of preparation for promotion. But I went all the way around because we tend to think tenure is the qualifier for promoting, or we think they're so good at running this machine. They have no deviations, they have no errors. They're so great at this machine, they should lead the team that runs the machines. Yikes. But what comes with leading the team that runs the machines? Personality management and paperwork processing, oh, and onboarding plans and performance reviews. We don't even know yet if they like the administrative side of running a team. We just know they are good at that machine.
Dr. Mechelle Roberthon is here with us from MKR Development. She's one of my faves, and that's why she's here on Kirkpatrick and Company. We're going to take a quick break. I want to tell you all about what Catalyst Bank is doing here in our community, how they are changing what banking has become, and really sort of going back in time to what it used to be. We're back with more Kirkpatrick and Company after this. Kirkpatrick and Company is brought to you by Catalyst Bank. If you're looking for a bank that actually knows Acadiana, you want Catalyst Bank. They've been serving the community for over 100 years, and that's not just history, that's trust. Catalyst Bank is built for local businesses, for local families, for real life. Their mission is simple: be a catalyst for economic growth right here at home. You get the best of both worlds: big bank technology, mobile access, and digital tools that keep up with you, and something you don't always get anymore: real hometown service. Call a branch, a real person answers. Need a loan? Decisions are made locally. That means faster answers and more flexibility. From commercial lending to personal banking, they're here with you for every step. Catalyst Bank, fueling business, improving lives. Visit catalystbank.com or stop by a local branch today. We're back on Kirkpatrick and Company, and Dr. Mechelle Roberthon is here from MKR Development. I want to get a little bit more personal, if it's okay with you,
Okay, sure.
and talk a little bit about faith, because yes, we have already talked about how you put me in my place after I tried to do something I wasn't called to do,
Yep.
and that's okay.
Yes.
You have made another impact for me in changing the words that have come out of my mouth,
Yes.
even if it hasn't changed the way I felt about it. But
Yeah.
I am classic for saying, like, the universe works things out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? The universe lines things up, whatever.
Mm.
And you know, like a mother hen, one time pulled me down, by the proverbial collar on my shirt and said, stop saying that. God is doing it.
Amen.
God's doing it.
That's right.
And God does it.
Period. Because all the glory, all the credit, all the honor goes to God for those that believe.
Mm.
For those that don't, I don't try to convince them of it. Perhaps I can do my most powerful work praying for them and not hitting them over the head with a Bible or arguing my point right or wrong. That's not the way Jesus did it. He was such and is such a gentleman. And so I try to model that. But for me, as for me and my household, all glory to God.
It's all about, I think, being authentic. And I
Yes.
think there are people who maybe in your position, you're a couple years into starting a new business,
Mhm.
You are busier probably than you expected in your wildest dreams that you were going to be. We have both found ourselves in the situation like, oh my gosh, this is what we prayed for, but it's happening and I don't have time to eat,
Right.
you know. But you aren't afraid to talk about your faith with anyone who asks,
Nope.
and because it is such a part of you.
Yes.
Can you talk about how you sort of square that in starting a business, even if it wasn't a conscious, you may not have looked yourself in the mirror and said, Mechelle, are we going to do this or are we not?
Right.
Just sort of jumped in and that was a part of you.
Are you talking about the call to start the business or how I integrate my faith?
Both.
Okay.
Because you had to have some faith to jump out the plane.
Do you? It's interesting that you're asking me this because I just shared with somebody my answer to this question today because it is a good testimony for me. The ugly truth is, I did not want to have faith. I did not want to trust God. And I think as an entrepreneur, you better trust somebody. You know, I tend to call him God. You might trust in something else, but I didn't want to have to trust him so deeply. I didn't want to be so dependent on him. I didn't want to be so needy. I probably could have started MKR Development in 2020 or 2021. Anytime after 2020, I think I would.
Well, yeah, we were pretty ripped up and chewed up and spit out by the end of 2020.
We had all the time in the world. I could have came up with a business plan and all the things. But I remember I was thinking, man, it's going to require a whole lot more prayer. It's going to require fasting. It's going to require believing him on another level. And I just didn't want to have to walk that out, live that out. And then I felt very convicted, which is really great because it's not condemned. You know, there's no hope if you're condemned, but a healthy conviction is good from the Holy Spirit, you know? And so I felt this conviction that was like, man, you go so hard and tell other people about trusting in faith and you can't even walk it out. And I felt like God was saying, try me. And let me tell you, best yes I gave God.
Really?
Keeps me afloat every day. And not
Yeah.
just afloat, thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the little things. If it's a Wednesday afternoon and I want to go to Gambino's, my favorite bakery in all of Acadiana. I love me some Gambino's. I do. Hopefully they
What's your go-to order there?
Oh my goodness. The ice sugar cookies are the best in the
I was gonna go Petitfours. I don't know that I've ever even had the sugar cookies yet.
I didn't finish that.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
This is top 3.
Okay.
Ice sugar cookies. I'm gonna go with the chocolate Dilberge cake. I might be mispronouncing that.
We would say in New Orleans, Dobosh.
I think that's wrong.
Dobosh. Okay. All right.
It's originated from New Orleans. But
That's where it is. But okay. Think what you want to think.
that's right. And then the Petitfours, of course.
Mhm.
So even on a random Wednesday afternoon, if I can go still away an hour to go get a iced sugar cookie, and then maybe I want to go try on some clothes at a store, I go, thank you, God. It's those little things that make me feel so rich, so free, and like a reward for trusting him.
You know, my version of that does not involve sweets, but it is even in some of the things that are not the most exciting,
Yeah.
but that I have time to do, like
Yes.
doctor's appointments with my kids.
Yes.
There was a time where it was like, well, who's going to leave? You have a meeting. We have a sickness, XYZ. I guess I have to take the day off.
Yep.
And to now know that I put the laptop in the bag.
That's right.
And maybe I answer an email while I'm sitting in the waiting room, you know, but that gift of time is something that I think a lot of people don't
gift.
think it really comes with
That's right.
the stress. And look, it does come with stress and heartburn,
Oh my goodness, yes.
but you work through it. Because I do want to ask you, look, we have a very interesting cross section of people that listen to this podcast, and someone I guarantee is listening right now
Yeah.
in their car. I'm going to say it's 7:23 in the morning and they're on Johnston Street
It's specific.
and they want to break out on their own.
Yeah.
They know they have the skill to do it. They know they have the drive to do it.
Yes, they do.
What do you say to someone who is sort of discerning that to take a chance on yourself?
What does Nike say? Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. I've heard so many entrepreneurs say, I wish I would have started my business earlier.
Hand up over here.
Right?
Wish I would have done it 10 years before.
10 years
Yeah.
before. Man, I'd be a veteran in the business now.
Mhm.
And I still am in the industry, but not doing it full time. And most people don't know that this was a side hustle for over a decade. So I'm not really new to starting a business. I'm new to doing it full time in full faith. So I tell the person who's right on the edge, just get clear. Take a notebook that you have in your purse, in your car, at your house. Go stop and get you a notebook. You're on Johnson Street, so Dollar Tree.
Okay.
Stop at that Dollar Tree. Should be on your right side because in my head you're heading towards Ambassador.
Well, there are some, and I guess they're all on the north side or the west side. I refuse to believe that that Johnson Street actually runs north and south like the maps say.
Yeah.
It's an east-west for me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
My brain says it's east-west.
I can dig that.
But yes, they're all on that side
Yeah.
of the road.
Okay, well, stop at one of those places, get you a notebook, and start dreaming. Get it out your head is probably my first step to tell them. Don't write down, don't think website, branding, logo. Everybody goes there first. What's the passion? What's the thing you're good about? Who do you want to sell that thing to? What would it look like? What is an ideal morning for you? An ideal day? Start dreaming. Pray over the dream. Write it again. Get excited. I have so many notes about this business that is MKR Development that date back to pre-COVID. I stumbled on a notebook the other day and I called it G14 Classified.
Oh, what did that even mean?
It just felt great.
Okay.
That was in my spirit. I was like, yeah, that's what this is, G14. And I just started mapping out stuff. It was the best trip down memory lane to see, is this something? It was the best trip down memory lane on what a business would look like. Would I like it? What's the product? Ooh, it could be this. I love that I've been dreaming that long.
I want to go back to something you said earlier, and that's even in that orientation, new hire process and the story of it.
Yep.
Having your own story and having a story you can dive into is so important to know it to sort of keep that passion. So where does someone start?
Are you asking me where they start with creating a story in general or their story about their business?
The why. What's the why?
Yeah. I think they have to get really honest, Rob, about what they hope to get out of doing it. I don't care if the answer is ugly in the beginning. If it is, I just want a whole bunch of money and I want to be rich and I want to take trips and I want Louis this and Louis that, write it down.
Some people do it.
They do.
That's their inspiration.
They do. You're going to need a deeper one.
Short-lived.
That will not keep you.
Because when you get the purse, it's like the new shoes on Christmas morning.
It
You put them on. It will
right.
keep you.
It will not keep you. And what do people do when they wear the shoes out? They throw them away or they give them away, but they don't retain that stuff. So that's okay. Write down the things that feel surface. You don't know that they're surface yet, but if they're writing things like that, I don't think they're bad people. There's so much overwhelm in their existing structure of their lives. That could be personal. It could be we are living check to check. We are pinching pennies. Man, the bills keep coming or work feels a little oppressive. I just want freedom to do what I want to do. That's okay if that's the first why. But I want you to sit on it. And if prayer is your thing, pray over that thing. If meditation is your thing, meditate on that thing. If you want to talk it out with a friend, talk it out. But keep writing down a why until you get to something so you. It is okay if your why feels surface or it doesn't feel so deep or it's a why out of desperation. That's natural and that's okay in the beginning. But I want you to pray over your why if prayer is your thing. I want you to meditate over your why if meditation is your thing. If talking it out with someone is your thing or stewing, do the thing, go through the process. And I want you to strip it all the way down to where the why feels like an extension of you. It feels like a calling. It feels like purpose. It feels like ministry. Now you got something that will not rot like shoes or expire like feelings. Now you got a why to start a business on.
Dr. Mechelle Roberthon is here. Another quick break, and we come back with the lightning round. Some quick questions to get to the bottom of whatever this is.
Okay.
MKR Development, located here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and there to service all your HR people operations needs. We're going to talk more with Mechelle Roberthon coming up. Kirkpatrick and Company is recorded and produced inside the vault at Rock and Bowl in downtown Lafayette. Rock and Bowl is a Louisiana tradition, and their team is ready to host your next event in downtown Lafayette. Contact Robin at 337-534-8880 or visit rockandbowl.com. Rock and Bowl de Lafayette, a proud supporter of Kirkpatrick and Company. Welcome back to Kirkpatrick and Company and the Vault inside Rock and Bowl in downtown Lafayette. Dr. Mechelle Roberthon's here from MKR Development, and it's time for the lightning round.
Oh my goodness.
Are you ready?
You didn't tell me about this.
You don't know the questions. You didn't know we were doing it, and
Nope.
here we go.
All right.
Well, number one, best piece of leadership advice you've ever received.
Oh my gosh. If you are starting a new job, don't change anything. You need to go on a listening tour. Get as much context as you possibly can about the people and the organization before you go and stake your claim about all the new things you want to do.
One HR hack that every single business should implement tomorrow.
Use AI.
Really?
Yes.
So many people are scared of it.
Why?
I'm not the people. I'm just saying.
Use it. Yes, it can't do everything. I know all the yeah buts. Trust me, I know all the yeah buts. But use AI and not just Chat GPT. That seems to be the AI that takes all the hits and that's all the one.
Oh, it's the Kleenex. You know what I'm saying? It's just the brand name.
Yeah, and it's like, y'all, Chat is not the enemy. Claude is not the enemy. All these different things, but AI could expedite even your hiring processes, your policies, your handbooks. Use it for things you're not naturally gifted in. And if it doesn't produce the final thing for you, use it as a steady companion. Use it to ask it questions that you're afraid to ask other people. But please develop yourself.
Lightning round question number 3. What is a daily habit that makes you a better leader?
Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to force that sometimes, but I feel so much better when I can eat and sleep.
A life lesson that shaped the way you lead and the way you run your business?
Oh, I don't know the quote, but it's the late great Maya Angelou, and I love when people say Angelou. They're being fancy, but in part she says, "Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud." Somebody who might not call God the same name you call God, or might not call him at all. And she goes on to say some other things, but be a blessing to someone else. That blessed me. That changed me.
And finally, what does success look like for you 10 years from today?
I hope to not work full time 10 years from today. Success to me looks like me and my awesome, amazing, handsome husband are traveling a whole lot. We're laughing a whole lot, enjoying each other's company, and life feels light and easy. And with the financial blessing we have, we are just super duper generous to so many different causes, and we get to hang with family and friends and just enjoy life.
Dr. Mechelle Roberthon, thank you so much for being here. You always have a home at the Vault. Do you want to pick a lockbox and maybe leave something that, I mean, I can't tell you where the keys are. I don't know. This isn't a working vault anymore.
I can't leave it then.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you for the offer.
Well, whenever you want to stop back by, you're always welcome back.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you for listening to Kirkpatrick and Company, brought to you by Catalyst Bank. This season 1 is all about investment. And today we talked about investing in ourselves, investing in your people, just investing in making the world, the workforce, a better place. Hey, make sure that you follow us wherever you follow things. See the full episodes every 2 weeks on YouTube. And again, special thanks to Catalyst Bank for making this possible. See you next time.